Good morning, APA. It's Miss Downey here. My assembly today is about two events that are happening over the next month. Firstly, the European Football Cup, and secondly, our end of year examinations for all year groups in years 7 to 10 and 12. So what do the Euros and the end of year exams have in common, you might well ask? Well, they're both happening this month. The European Cup started at the end of last week, and our exams are actually starting today. And they are both a way of measuring how good a team, or in the exams case, how good you are at something. And they both mean that if you are being successful, you have to really plan and commit and prepare for them. They both have a reward if you're successful. If you are a football team and you go right through to the final, you get to win a cup and a title. And in terms of the exams, great exam results give you personal pleasure and give you kudos. They give you status and they allow you to move forward successfully into the next year of your education. A little bit of background information on the Euros. The Euros are held every 4 years, but in this instance, last year, 2020, they had to be postponed because of the pandemic. Now, one question is, why is it still being known as the 2020 Euros? Well, it was decided that it was best to keep with that title because the 2020 Euros were a celebration of 60 years of the European Cup, and all the merchandising had been finalised and completed, and they didn't want to actually waste any of the preparations that they'd made for last year. So what's different about the UEFA Cup this year? Well, essentially, Rome is hosting the opening ceremony, but rather than it being in one country, it is in lots of different countries, and the finals and the semi-finals will be held at Wembley, and all of England's games will be at home. Now, the crowds are allowed back into the stadiums, but it's only going to be a quarter of the number that they would normally have. The European Cup is a real community event, and it is really important this year. It marks the fact that there is light at the end of the tunnel with regards to the pandemic. It's a great opportunity for people to come together, and it is a celebration of national identity. And actually having something to focus on is a really good thing for the country. As I record this, I can actually hear the England supporters chanting, "Ready for the kickoff." Everybody is very excited today. The pubs and the restaurants are filling up, and special screens are all and around and about the place. Families seem to be planning parties in gardens and moving TV screens out into gardens so they can watch this big event. So the European Cup has started, and on Monday, this morning, as you're hearing this assembly, it all kicks off here with the exams. We've got two sets of exams coming up. From June the 14th, we have year 10 and 12, and from June the 28th onwards, we have years 7 to 9. Although the tournament and the exams are starting, the real work starts with the preparation. In the case of the England football team, Gareth Southgate has been preparing for this for months. The exams are really similar in many ways. Again, we have been preparing you through your lessons and through your revision. Last week and the week before, for some students, you should have been working through your pillar skills on the Stickability 7. All of the work that we've been doing with you is building up, like the tournament, to the final, but to your final exams. The England team were based at Rockcliffe training facilities. The pitches there are an exact replica of the Wembley pitches that England will play their first games on. In terms of the length of the grass and how the ground feels underneath, this will be a similar experience. Why is this important? Because it provides consistency for the players. It also has viewing towers from which the management team can record practice set pieces and play them back and suggest changes. We try and create a similar experience with the exams. Most students do their exams in a familiar place, either the hall or a special room. If you are in Year 10, we have already practiced getting you into the hall, as it's such a long time since you did your exams, and next week we will be practicing with Key Stage 3. Everybody knows that practice makes perfect. England have been practicing penalties since the start of the season as part of Gareth Southgate's detailed preparations for the European Championships. You also have been practicing for the exams. Some of you have been creating revision cards, some perfect answers. All of these activities mean that, like the England team, you are well prepared for what is to follow. One thing that Gareth Southgate has spoken about is how he has been using technology, in particular phones, to coach and train players. We do exactly the same at school. We're now making sure that every child has a Chromebook so that you can access online programs to prepare and test yourself for the exams. Gareth Southgate knows the importance of working together as a team and creating opportunities to socialise together. The England team has sessions together where they can talk through their tactics and learn from each other in social situations such as barbecues. Just like the England team, you have been using or will be using lesson times to revise together, partnering up with other people so that you can learn from them. Remember, history tells us the following. Everybody loves a winner. Here's a picture of the 1966 England World Cup team, which was the last team to win for England. Or even somebody who tries their very best, like Gaza, who famously got upset when England lost the quarterfinals of the World Cup. So my advice to you, whether you're starting your exams today or in the next 2 weeks, use your pillar skills, use the Stickability 7, and then you will be successful in these end of year exams.